Everyone talks about the AR-15 like it is the only rifle that matters. But step off the beaten path, and the landscape widens. Fast battlefield pedigrees, smarter gas systems, compact bullpups born from urban warfare, and classic designs that glide past restrictive laws. Today, we are not doing fanboy hype. We are stacking 10 contenders against the AR's comfort zone and asking a hard question. When the shots actually matter, which rifle gives you the edge? Buckle up, because the first pick does something the AR rarely can. It blends in, stays legal in tough jurisdictions, and still hits where you point it. Number 10. Ruger Mini 14. If the AR screams tactical, the Mini 14 whispers classic. Chambered for 223 Remington and 5.56 NATO, it delivers the same practical performance with a completely different presence. More ranch rifle than warfighter clone. That lower profile matters in places with strict rules on military-style features and for shooters who want capability without spectacle. Under the hood, the Mini runs a reliable fixed-piston gas system and a cold hammer-forged barrel, a combination that prizes clean cycling and long-term durability. It does not bristle with rails, but it pays you back in smooth operation, dependable extraction, and recoil that new shooters can actually manage. The factory iron sights are honest and usable. The handling is light. The cycling is unfussy. In a world obsessed with accessory grids and skeletonized everything, the Mini's appeal is its refusal to demand a toolbox for every range day. But let us be candid about trade-offs. Compared to an AR, aftermarket customization is limited, and magazines can be pricier and harder to track down in bulk. There is no last round bolt hold open, which forces a different rhythm when you reload under stress. Optics mounting is possible, just not as plug-and-play as a modern flat top, and the stock trigger, while serviceable, lacks the glass rod break many tuned AR shooters expect. Then there is the bill. Expect a street price hovering from $900 to $1,100, depending on trim and finish. So why does it earn a slot in a countdown of AR killers? Because in the real world, where perception shapes policy and looking tactical can be a liability, the Mini 14 offers a way to carry 223 or 5.56 NATO with less friction and fewer eyebrows. It is a rifle you can take to the field without a side-eye, a ranch tool that just happens to be very good at putting rounds on target quickly and repeatably. It is not a modular Lego set. It is a purpose rifle, quietly competent, stubbornly reliable, and legally friendly, where the AR too often trips wires. And that is the point of this entire series. Each of these rifles beats the AR at something specific. Sometimes it is legality. Sometimes it is compactness. Sometimes it is gas design that runs cleaner with a suppressor. The next step in our climb trades the traditional layout for a compact warfighter silhouette, born from street to doorway combat, wrapping a full-length barrel into an overall length that feels almost impossible. The manual of arms changes. The balance shifts rearward. The handling becomes fast. Number 9. The IWI Tavor X95. At first glance, this rifle looks like it stepped off the set of a science fiction movie. But its DNA comes straight from the battlefield. The Tavor flips the script on rifle design by running as a bullpup. The action and magazine are tucked behind the trigger group, which means you carry a full 16-inch barrel in a package barely over 26 inches long. That is carbine maneuverability with rifle-level velocity, an edge that matters when you are moving through tight hallways, vehicles, or urban choke points. This rifle was not dreamed up in a marketing boardroom. It was shaped by real military users who demanded a weapon that could be slung, bumped, dropped, and still cycle when the dust cleared. You feel that the second it hits your shoulder, it is not delicate. It is not trying to impress you with sleek lines. It is here to fight. The X95 is ambidextrous out of the box. Magazine release, bolt catch, charging handle, everything mirrors for left and right-handed shooters. And it is not stuck in just one chambering. 5.56 NATO. 9mm, and even 5.45 by 39. Pick your flavor, swap your setup. The recoil impulse is clean. The built-in flash hider cuts signature in low light, and under the polymer panels lies rail space ready for optics, lights, or lasers. Now, the dark side of bullpup still lurks here. The trigger feel? Mushy, compared to most AR builds. Magazine changes take practice because you are reaching back into your armpit, not forward into muscle memory. And while aftermarket support exists, It is not the ocean of options the AR commands. Add accessories, and the balance shifts forward, reminding you this rifle is denser than it looks. The price? A premium usually between $1,600 and $1,900. But here is the truth. The Tavor X95 does something the AR cannot. It hides a full rifle's worth of barrel and a footprint smaller than most subguns, without surrendering performance. For operators in vehicles, for homeowners with tight hallways, or for anyone who values compact authority over endless customization, the X95 is a serious contender. Number 8. The CZ Bren 2. If the Tavor rewrites how rifles fit into space, the Bren 2 rewrites how modular rifles should feel in your hands. Light, balanced, and with ambidextrous controls that are not awkward afterthoughts, this Czech-born contender carries itself with the confidence of a rifle that knows exactly what it wants to be. Swap parts? Easy. Swap calibers? Straightforward. Where the AR-15 can choke on suppressor blowback, the Bren 2 shrugs it off with an adjustable gas regulator, giving you clean, controlled cycling even when you run quiet. Build quality is unmistakable tight tolerances. No rattle, no wiggle. This is a rifle that feels premium before you ever add a single accessory. Of course, excellence carries weight. At $1,600 to $1,900, it is not the cheapest path to a rifle. Aftermarket support in the United States is limited. Some parts are proprietary, and the charging handle does not lock back, which irks traditionalists. But that balance, that ergonomics, that no-nonsense gas control, it all adds up to a rifle that feels like it was engineered for professionals first, civilians second. If the Mini 14 played the stealth card and the Tavor showed off compact battlefield DNA, the Bren 2 pushes a different challenge. What if modularity could be refined instead of improvised? What if your rifle was clean, efficient, and ready, without a shopping list of upgrades? The next rifle takes a different route. It takes the rugged soul of an AK, welds it to American practicality, and adds something you almost never see: compatibility with AR magazines. A hybrid warhorse with Balkan steel and Yankee logistics. Number 7. The Zastava ZPAP M90 PS. At first glance, it looks like an AK clone. Heavy receiver, blocky lines, classic wood, or polymer furniture. But there is one massive twist. It runs 5.56 NATO, not 7.62 by 39. That one decision transforms it from an exotic import into a rifle perfectly at home for American shooters. Ammunition is everywhere. Logistics are simple. And here is the kicker. It accepts standard AR magazines. That is a rarity in the AK world, and it makes the ZPAP a brutal, practical hybrid. Durability is the headline here. A thicker stamped receiver, bulged trunnion, and chrome-lined barrel scream long-term abuse tolerance. Rain, mud, neglected cleaning, this rifle shrugs it all off. It is not elegant. It is not sleek. But it is stubbornly reliable in a way that gives you confidence. Add a Magpul Zhukov folding stock, and you get modern adjustability without sacrificing rugged strength. Sling points are built in, and corrosion resistance means this rifle is not a safe queen. It is a workhorse. Downsides? It is heavier than an AR, and the ergonomics are stuck in the Soviet era. The trigger is plain, the charging handle is not ambidextrous, and there is no last round bolt hold open. Customization options are limited compared to the Lego-like AR, and aftermarket support is narrower. Price usually hovers around $1,000 to $1,200, which is fair considering the build quality, but it still places this rifle above the budget blaster category. What makes it matter in this list? Simplicity and ruggedness. If you want a rifle that bridges worlds, AK durability with AR logistics, the ZPAP M90 PS is the iron bridge between them. It does not care about comfort. It cares about running, round after round, when lesser rifles choke. Number 6. The Steyr AUG A3. This is not just a rifle, it is an icon. The AUG's silhouette, sloping polymer body, integrated carry handle, magazine tucked behind the grip, has been burned into the global consciousness since the 1970s. The A3 version refines that legacy and makes it brutally practical for modern shooters. Compact is the theme. A full 16-inch barrel tucked into a rifle just 27 inches long overall. That makes it a powerhouse for close-quarters environments, vehicles, or tight interiors. And now, unlike the older AUGs that demanded proprietary magazines, the A3 accepts standard AR magazines. That one change makes it a contender instead of a collectible. The AUG shines in its quick-change barrel system. Press a button, swap lengths or calibers, and you are ready in seconds. No tools. No bench. Reliability is rock solid. Recoil is soft, and the polymer housing takes abuse without complaint. Yes, the bullpup layout demands retraining. Mag changes feel awkward. The trigger is spongy compared to ARs, and aftermarket customization is slim. Left-handed shooters may curse the ejection pattern unless they find the right setup. But the package is undeniable. Extreme compactness without losing velocity, battlefield-grade durability, and modern magazine compatibility. Prices float between $1,800 and $2,100, which buys you a piece of military history that still works as hard today as it did decades ago. If the ZPAP proves steel can bend to modern calibers and the AUG proves compactness can coexist with full rifle power, the next entry takes the AR's crown jewel modularity and evolves it into something cleaner, tougher, and far more versatile. A rifle that feels like an AR until you look inside. Number 5. The Sig MCX. At first glance, you might mistake it for another AR variant. Same silhouette, same stance, same promise of modularity. But peel back the skin, and the MCX is a different animal altogether. The heart of the rifle beats on a short-stroke gas piston system, not the direct impingement design that has plagued the AR with carbon fouling and filthy suppressor blowback for decades. With the MCX, cycling is smoother, cleaner, and far more reliable over long sessions without maintenance. For those who run suppressed rifles, this change is a revelation. No more choking on blowback. No more gas stinging your eyes after every burst. The MCX is designed to tame that chaos and make suppressed shooting viable for real missions, not just range toys. And then there is the modularity. Barrels and calibers swap with astonishing ease. In minutes, you can transform from a compact 5.56 NATO carbine to a 300 blackout specialist, built for close-quarters devastation. The folding stock is another leap. Where an AR struggles with storage in tight spaces, the MCX folds down to fit in a vehicle, a case, or a confined staging area without sacrificing deployment speed. Add a monolithic upper, and you get rigidity that locks in accuracy under stress. But perfection is expensive. Expect to pay $2,000 to $2,400, depending on configuration. It is heavier at the front when you stack long barrels or suppressors. Aftermarket support is smaller than the AR's ocean of parts, and some proprietary pieces like the handguard restrict your freedom to mix and match. It is not the rifle for a casual beginner. It is the rifle for someone who wants to skip good enough and go straight to better. Number 4. The IWI Galil Ace. This rifle takes the legendary AK design, drags it into the 21st century, and dares it to compete with the AR head-on. Built from the battle-proven Galil, the Ace smooths out cycling, sharpens ergonomics, and outfits itself with features AK purists once called impossible. A 6-position folding stock ensures fit for every shooter. A left-side charging handle means no awkward reach-arounds. Ambidextrous safety and a monolithic upper with a full-length rail put it squarely in the modern arena. Caliber options span the spectrum: 5.5, 6 NATO for logistics, 7.62 by 39 for punch, and even 7.62 NATO for raw distance. And if you run the 5.56 version, your existing AR magazines slide right in, making this rifle a seamless transition for AR shooters who want AK durability without abandoning their mag stash. It is heavier than most ARs. The trigger is serviceable but unremarkable. Aftermarket support is smaller than the AR juggernaut. And the price $1,600 to $2,100 reflects its imported pedigree. But what you get in return is ruggedness with refinement. Steel receivers built to endure, ergonomics that actually respect the shooter, and compatibility that eases the leap from one platform to another. If the Sig MCX reimagines the AR's internals and the Galil Ace reimagines the AK's externals, then the next rifle does something bolder. It blends modern engineering with battlefield pedigree, creating a weapon so respected it became a military staple and a civilian status symbol. A rifle with a name whispered like a legend. Number 3. The FNSC AR-16 and 17. Few rifles carry the kind of reputation this platform commands. Built for the battlefield and tested under fire, the SCAR lineup has carved its place among elite forces and civilian shooters who demand more than hype. At its core is a short-stroke gas piston system that runs cleaner and cooler than the direct impingement of an AR. That means fewer malfunctions, longer service intervals, and reliability that thrives under suppressed fire or high round counts where other rifles start to choke. The stock tells another part of the story. It folds, adjusts, and adapts to fit nearly any shooter, whether you are kitted for combat or simply dialing in comfort. A full-length monolithic top rail opens the door for optics and accessories without the flex or compromise of bolted-together parts. Controls are fully ambidextrous, smooth, and placed with intention. And then there is the AR-17 chambered in 7.62 NATO. This rifle is a beast, purpose-built for distance and devastation. It is not a gentle rifle. It kicks harder, it costs more, but it delivers impact that can stop fights with authority. The 16 offers precision in 5.56. The 17 delivers dominance in 7.62. Together, they represent the high watermark of modern combat rifles, but legends come with a price tag. The AR-16 ranges from $2,800 to $3,200, while the 17 demands anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000. Aftermarket parts are limited, recoil is sharper on the 17, and some components remain proprietary, raising long-term maintenance costs. Still, the AR is not just another rifle. It is an icon, forged in battle and carried with pride. Number 2, the HKS-L8. This rifle slips under the radar, overshadowed by flashier names, yet it deserves a spotlight. Born from the legendary G36, the SL8 takes German engineering precision and packages it for the civilian world. Chambered in 5.56 NATO, its cold hammer-forged chrome-lined barrel is a promise of accuracy and endurance. This is a rifle that shoots straight and stays straight year after year. The gas system is short-stroke piston, running smooth and clean where an AR grows dirty. Comfort is dialed in through an adjustable cheek rest and butt pad, tailoring the fit to your frame. Up top, a full-length rail makes optics mounting effortless, and in states where magazine restrictions clamp down hard, the SL8's factory 10-round setup keeps you compliant without modification. It does have quirks. It does not take AR mags unless you commit to a conversion. Its futuristic look turns heads, not always in admiration. Aftermarket support in the United States is thin, and the trigger is adequate rather than inspiring. But priced between $1,600 and $2,000, it gives you a rifle tuned for precision, legality, and reliability right out of the box. No gimmicks, no endless tinkering. Just German discipline, distilled into steel and polymer. And then, number 1, the AK-47. Not just a rifle, but a symbol. The most recognized firearm on the planet, forged in fire and carried in every corner of conflict for over half a century. Where the AR boasts modularity and finesse, the AK delivers brute certainty. Caked in mud, frozen in snow, abandoned to rust, it still runs. Looser tolerances, fewer moving parts, and a design that thrives on neglect. Chambered in 7.62 by 39, it punches hard in the short and mid-range fight, pairing with curved steel magazines that are themselves indestructible icons. It is not perfect. Long-range accuracy is mediocre. Ergonomics are dated. Reloads are slower, optics mounting clumsy without help. It is heavier, less refined, less customizable. But what it offers is something rarer: trust. When conditions turn hostile, when maintenance is impossible, when survival depends on your rifle working no matter what, the AK-47 does not flinch. And the price? $700 to $1,200 depending on origin. Accessible, proven, immortal. It is not sleek. It is not subtle. It is simply the rifle that works always. So here we are, 10 rifles that prove the AR-15 is not the only game in town. Some outmatch it in reliability, others in modularity, others in compactness or battlefield heritage. Together, they reveal the truth. The AR-15 is a legend, yes, but it is not untouchable. The question is simple. If the world asked you to choose raw power, unbreakable durability, or sleek modular evolution, would you still pick the AR, or would you dare to reach for something else?